What is going on, guys? Joey here with the boys, Delaney and Cayco. Just got back from. Where were you guys?
Malaysia,
Malaysia.
Were we, Delaney? Where were you before that?
Wait,
Cayco, where were you before that?
Mexico.
Now, I know the Malaysia thing is related, but did the other locations like this wasn't something that like SPD was like, hey, we're gonna send you guys wherever. They just like randomly like kind of happened.
so like the thing about like the SBD, like Mexico's, Malaysia's, like all that, like they're not necessarily connected with like the head body. They're almost like their own independent companies in and of themselves that do their own thing. So it kind of just happened like organically. Like the Kuwait thing happened organically, John's Mexico thing happened organically, like this Malaysia thing happened. And so it's like individual companies that kind of say, hey, we want to do this thing. We see that you guys are doing it, and
I
that's how
will
it kind of
say
happens.
I've known you guys for many years now. I think I started working with Delaney in 2018 and John in 2017.
Yeah, I think so.
To have like gone through the journey with you guys from like start to now to like literally like starting out like kind of a no name, nobody really knows you, keep working, keep trying, get prime time, win nationals, win worlds, and then go to Sheffield like both of you, and then you do the tour after. It is I just have so much like I'm proud, I have like gratitude, I have like to see you guys do that is almost like a like the sport or the community kind of saying thank you guys for doing what you've done, and we would love for you to come visit us, right? So for me to watch that, um I mean it's just that's what it's all about at the end of the day. It's like I helped, help these boys do like I mean I don't know if you guys ever thought that you would be traveling the world shaking hands with
No.
when you guys think
No.
about it. Think about it. When you guys first hit me up, did you say, "Yeah, man, one day I'm gonna be traveling the world and signing people's belts and things like that."
Nah.
Bro, I didn't even know world existed. I just wanted to win nationals.
Right? Like, I mean, honestly, it's truly just amazing what you guys have been able to do through lifting, and I think you guys are both really good role models for people that want to do what you guys have done. Um, I know John that for specific like parts of the world, I feel like um you're like very inspiring, right? Like obviously, I wonder if people actually thought you were Mexican.
No, I mean, I like straight up was like, you guys know I'm not Mexican, right, bro? They're like, yeah, we don't give a fuck.
Okay.
I mean, like, even if they did, they're
Like,
like,
yeah, dog.
I'd be like, I'm Filipino. They're like, okay, yeah, that's like close enough, bro.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so I mean, we're all, what I mean, it's all chill. So
Yeah. So I guess we could do Malaysia since you guys both did that one. How did that come about, and how was it? Like, what was the kind of take me through the week and what you guys kind of did? Anybody could,
so
yeah,
yeah, I mean, I
yeah,
guess I think all of us met Attica in
yeah,
Malta of 2023 from
yeah,
Worlds,
yeah.
Yeah.
and that's how that relationship kind of got started. I met her post meet. She came up to me after the meet in Worlds last year, and she was like, "Oh, big fan. I brought you and Nina gifts." She was very sweet, very genuine. Uh, just a little quick conversation. She was like, "Oh, I'm from Malaysia. You guys should come." And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm down." You know, uh, and come back to recently. I think she just, she became part of the SPD Malaysia, and then those types of or plans happened. She was like, "Hey, like you said you were down, right?" I'm like, "Yeah." So that's just really how it came about.
Took you up on the offer.
That's Yeah, that's literally how my Mexico one happened. Like when they reached out to me, they didn't reach out as like a SPD. It was just like DMs, and they were just like, "Hey, like, we like that you're vibing to the music. We vibe into the culture. For like weeks, and they were like, "Oh, we'll send you like I'm talking about Mexico here. They were we'll send you like the shirt. Like if we could, can we send you a shirt? I'm like, sure. Like sure, why not? And then like after they're like, you want to come down just for like a meet and greet? And then that still wasn't under SPD. And I was like, sure, I'll go. Like I don't care. I'll go like for your gym. Sure, I'll just go for fun. I'm not doing anything. And then it kind of evolved into an SPD thing. They were like, oh, by the way, I'm also involved with SPD here, uh, and yeah.
Delaney, how did the Kuwait thing come about?
Yeah, so the Kuwait thing came about. So that the Kuwait one actually wasn't in tandem with SBD. It was just like it was like gym in Kuwait, and like it was gonna be like a pseudo fake vacation. That was like, oh, I was out there, and then people were like, hey, like I want to come see you, and so it just turned into something like that. The Canada one before that, there was like a gym opening in Canada, and so they asked like me and a couple people to come through. Um, and so yeah, it was really just like organic and like the thing with Attica, it's interesting because a lot of people say like, "Hey, you guys should like come, or you guys should do this or do that," and then it just kind of ends there. And I'm sure like this with like anything else, but like Attica was just like, "Hey, you guys said it. Are you actually down?" And we're like, "Hell yeah, let's do it!" Like we're not, we like we said it, and then it actually happened. And so it was actually it was pretty sick just to see it all come to fruition. It was super organic. It was just like, "Are you down to do it?" And then we just built it from there, from the ground up.
What was the week like in Malaysia? Like what did you guys kind of do first and then
Didn't
leading up
sleep.
to like the end? Yeah. It looks like you guys had a good amount of like you had a chance to
Activities.
like explore things and like not just only
Yeah,
do powerlifting stuff.
Yeah,
yeah, we
so
did
it
a
was
lot.
awesome.
Yeah, we did a lot.
Go ahead,
It was
John.
good though.
What'd you guys do? Let's go from the
Yeah,
beginning.
we did like everything. Honestly, we did as I feel like we did as realistically as much as we could physically, like going to places without like dying. To like, I feel like we even died though. But
Yeah.
No, we definitely died.
it was low sleep for so many days. Attica was just so she was very excited to take us around, and I was like, yeah, screw it, let's just go, and so when we got there, it was just food. It was food, a lot of food every day, a lot of food every day, lots of activities. Um, do you want me to start from like day one and
Yeah, like
moving on, or
yeah, and then we'll have Delaney just like jump in at any point if there's something that you want
yeah,
to
yeah,
like
yeah,
include. Yeah.
For
yeah,
sure,
like
for
we
sure.
we got there, long travel. My flight I had to fly to San Francisco and fly out of San Francisco to Tokyo, which was 11 hours, and Tokyo to Kuala Lumpur was about 7 hours.
Oh, so you
Uh,
went the back way of Earth. You went like
right.
the other
I
way
went
around.
west.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went west. So me and Delaney were like, we literally went that. Yeah,
That's sick. You went
yeah.
around the world and met on the other side.
Yeah. Like actually, right? What the fuck? But no, man. Like it was so cool. Like it's such a good experience, And I always say, especially on these types of things where there's like some business, some work you have to do with the seminar at work, right? Quote unquote. Um, but if you have time, like we had so much time to do things, and I think I don't know if it was the first or second day. I don't even remember anymore. We went to the museum, and that was, this this fucking guy,
I'll hop in.
this
I'll hop
fucking
in.
guy, this fucking guy, bro.
So
What
so
did you
first
do?
off, so first off, we both finally land, right? And I land like maybe at like 10 o'clock at night, so not bad. I'm like, all right, get some food, go to sleep. John and Nita didn't get into like 3. And so like I have this like really bad habit that I just like whenever like I'm faced with a decision, there's like, oh, do you want to like leave the restaurant and like just go to bed? Or do you want to wait for John and Nita? Like there'd be like another hour. I always say like, well, how many times am I actually gonna do this? And if it's like not much, I'm just like, all right, fuck it, like let's just run the dice. And so like that completely destroyed my sleep there. But like the next day, so we wake up. Every day started at like 6:30 in the morning. Like
Yeah,
every day we were up at
every
like
day was
6:30 in the
early.
morning,
Yeah,
like unequivocally. And so the first day we ended up going to the museum because I think it was the day before the first seminar, so we had like one day to like do something. And we're going around seeing all the different artifacts and this the other thing. And there was this like one section where they had like the traditional like garments for like Malay people. And that's where we got introduced to the Bajumalayus. And
That's the
immediately
outfit that
I
you
was
had.
like, yo, yeah, the outfit that we had, yo,
Is it like kind of
immediately I'm like,
Mongolian
John,
or no? Is it like it's I've never it's
I
I'm
mean,
sure
I think they're all very similar.
yeah.
In the Southeast Asian, it's just that's like the Malay style as far as I'm aware.
Does it have any kind of
so
Yeah,
like
and so we saw that.
no, I was just gonna say, does it have like some sort of like symbolism? Is that does it mean anything, or is it just like kind of what they
yeah.
wear?
They wear it for like
Really special occasion.
Oh,
special
okay.
events. I believe
Weddings.
sometime I believe they do wear it like when they're doing the fasts and stuff as
Hmm.
well. Just like but you can wear it for like events, and I believe like any special event like weddings and stuff like that. But go ahead, you were saying.
And so yeah, we saw that and I looked at John and I was like, brother, we're gonna pull up in these for nationals with like some swords because we're going to war. And so
Yo.
literally the rest of the trip, I didn't care about anything else but getting like that fit. Like he's got his sword.
Yeah.
And it almost didn't happen. It was almost tragic. It almost didn't happen because we like couldn't find a spot. But then that's besides the case. But yeah, and then the next day we ended up doing the like the first day because it was a 2 day event in terms of like the seminar, and it was just really cool to see like because some people flew in from Singapore because Singapore is relatively close to Malaysia. And it was so cool to see like, people just come out and like they wanted to get advice, they wanted to get better, they wanted to meet us. Some people like were calling in and trying to like go to the gyms that we were at or like fly in late because they actually didn't think that we were actually going to show up. Like they thought that
What the
like the
heck?
seminar was going to be like a virtual Zoom call because they just couldn't wrap their mind around us like actually flying across the world and like getting there.
That's so
And so it was like
interesting
pretty dope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
because like I was just telling Delaney before we got on, when I'm overseas, I literally like they make me feel like I'm famous, right? I'm just Joey. You guys know me. Like I'm just Joey, right? But in these other countries, they're so welcoming and we're almost like we said that we're like legendary Pokemon. Like the legendary dogs when they travel and like they just appear, like you got to catch them while they're there cuz they're going to leave, right? It's like I guess they don't give visitors the same. Also, we live in America where like everything is just kind of like mixed together and we
It's
move around a
different.
lot and it's
Yeah.
kind of very easy. Everything's like very accessible. So it's I think it's so dope that um I guess I'm trying to flip it, right? If someone I guess I would if I saw somebody from another country, that was a lifter that like we kind of knew or something. I guess I'd be like, "What's up, man? Let's go train or something." But yeah, anyway, go ahead, Delaney.
Yeah, so it was just really cool. The SBD Malaysia like headquarters is pretty sick because the top spot is where they get like their work done, but then they have like two or three combo racks and like an advances like little display as well as like some SBD
Better than the
display in
Sheffy
there. So it's like almost
headquarters?
like a mini. No, 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 no,
Oh,
no,
okay,
no,
okay,
no,
okay,
no,
okay.
no, 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 no. Okay, no, no, no. Yeah, yeah. No, the Sheffield like headquarters. That's just OD. But I mean, it's pretty sick. It's pretty sick. So it's almost like a mini gym, sitting below their like headquarters there. And so it was a really cool event. I started off like teaching the squat, and then like because like my energy levels just depleted when John started teaching bench, I literally like I shut down. Like I gave everybody as much energy as I had for squat. I gave it all I had, and then literally just battery died because I was literally
Who
running
did
on
the
like 3 hours
deadlift?
of sleep. And the following day was deadlift, so like we had a day to like
Okay.
recharge to do. So it was a 2 day event, which was pretty sick. And then after the deadlift, we both gave just like a short like motivational like words of encouragement, just for like those that like, hey, like 2018, 2017, John and Delaney started, and like it was just like, hey, like let's win our first local meet and like maybe break a record, and then like let's go to nationals, let's go to worlds, and like, hey, like how do you go from like where you are right now to where you ultimately want to be? Um, which I think like John and I kind of agree that it's really just like who lasts the longest. Like it's really longevity. It's just like most people are going to stop. Most people like take a break. They don't kind of keep on pushing, and so part of that is just like, hey, do you have the mental fortitude to do the same thing again and again and again and again, even before you get a reward from it. And so it was really sick. We got to like actually chill with some of the people that went to the seminar, and we all went to the zoo together. So it was very community type of oriented. Like a lot of the events and a lot of things that we went out to do, we actually were chilling with the people that were at the event and like that attended. Um, we would make little posts whenever we pull out to like one of the random local gyms, and it was really cool to like see and communicate and lift with some of the different lifters like at all levels. Um, and one compliment that John and I got that I thought was like actually really really interesting um, was when we were both squatting. It was finally when we started feeling good again. We were getting back in the rhythm of things. We were both squatting, and we didn't have too much time to lift. And both of us like had this like we were locked in. We like knew each other's company. We were feeding off each other's energy. But like nobody was talking. We were just going, 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 going. And at the very end of it, it was cool to have like one of the guys come up, and he was just like, it was extremely inspiring just watching you guys lift. Right. And like we didn't lift anything like
You guys didn't go super
extraordinarily
heavy,
heavy. It
yeah.
wasn't like we wasn't like we were going super heavy, but it was just they were just like it was so interesting to see two people lock in like so like just 100% shut the world out and just lock in for a session and watch like the work get done. And so it was really cool to kind of just again like have that energy kind of flowing back and forth and hopefully like inspire some of the people that are there and just say hey like like we walk the talk in terms of that piece,
What were
and
you
it
guys
was it was really
lifting?
cool.
You guys were doing your own training, or like because it was time to train, or you were lifting to demonstrate something for the seminar?
No, we were training. Like we both had our squat sessions that we needed to get done. It was like, hey, like Joey will kill us if we miss this session, so we got to get the work in because we got numbers to hit. We got
Bro,
fades to throw.
you guys
Um,
traveled at the same time that Russ was traveling, and Cranon is traveling right now. And I'm literally like, I have this thing in my mind that's like, I know John's gonna be good about it. Delaney, I know you're gonna be good about it. I know Russ is gonna be good about it, but I texted Cranon today. I'm not saying Cranon's not good about it. I'm just saying I know what time she trains, and I texted her and I was like, "What's up? We trying to deadlift today?" And she actually had a great deadlift day. So it just gives me that peace of mind knowing that you guys are traveling, but you're getting your work done. I think Malaysia is probably like harder travel. It's like tough, right? Like if we did a meet in
yeah,
Asia,
it
like
was
we got
like
to get
22
there.
hours, man.
How early would you say that you guys would want to get there if we had to do a meet in like Asia like that?
A month, a month.
My-
I'm going
my-
a month in advance. I'm going a month in advance. I'm not, I, Malta, South Africa, like all like Sheffield, like some of them were long, some of them weren't that bad. And maybe it was because like when I was going to there, like I knew that I was there to compete. So like everything that I did to travel wise was there to help like maximize not getting screwed. Like I upgraded my plane ticket and all that. But I'm telling you, man, and John can attest to this, because the energy level between like Delaney when he's at normal energy and like not is so like vast. Like John and Nina were looking at me and he was just like, "Yo, Delaney's on fumes." Like I was hurt, like
yeah,
like that travel hurt me bad.
yeah.
Like
I got a gauge of when you were like good and when you weren't good. So anyone I could be like, hey Delaney, or I could just be like, nah, just let him sit there.
Um,
Yeah,
let him die in peace.
so you guys got there, you guys did the seminar, and then how many days did you guys have after the seminar to kind of like just explore Malaysia?
I think like three,
3 days.
like
Yeah,
three.
yep.
Dang.
Yeah, and one of those days we did drive over to the Malaysian like national team, and we did do like a quick kind of like 1v1 like Q&A as well as like motivational kind of piece there. So there was one more
Interesting.
event that we kind of did,
Can you
which was
imagine
pretty.
the
Yeah, that was
It
sick.
US
was it
doing
was
that? The
it
US
was
would not do
it was
that.
sick. Like it was really cool to see like the national team getting to be all together and just like train together, And that's one thing that I would say
We
I
don't have
envy about the
we don't
way that
have
they
that.
like I envy that. Like I would
Yeah.
love to be able to like lift with John and
Yeah.
Russ and Jesus and Cranon and Mikey
Amanda,
and
yeah, yeah, yeah.
every single day, Amanda every day. Like I would love to be able to do that. Like um and it was cool to see them like really come together as a team, and like they're pushing each other, they're talking their shit, they're going back and forth with each other, but you could tell that everybody's trying to row in the same direction, and like when somebody gets down, they're there to pick the other person up, and vice versa. And so that was probably the dopest thing out of the entire trip. That was probably the dopest thing to get to see. Like literally just like what 20 people ish, give or take, like all in one, just like in the bunker, just getting busy together. And like all that matters is just like we're gonna put the country on the
Is
map. Like it, it
Malaysia
was it was sick.
big?
It's not
C-
small.
Is it like
Uh,
bigger than Texas?
that's a good question.
Because
I
I
don't
know
think
I
so.
don't know.
I saw
I
this
don't want to
thing.
say it is.
I saw this thing that was like, if you took Europe and like brought it to the U.S., it's like so small compared to like
Yeah,
the
I think
U.S.
that's the thing. Especially, I think we forget, like living in the U.S. is just how freaking huge the U.S. is. Just like how much space we have, like next to each other, like state to state. Like our states are
Mhm.
literally sizes of countries of other
I mean,
places.
California is like, John, I'm gonna be in the same state when I come up to see you in a month, but it's literally like the distance between here and Texas.
Huh?
No, 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 not
Wait,
fly.
no.
I'm
The
thinking
fuck?
3 hours flying, 3 hours driving. It's like here to
Okay,
like
yeah,
Nevada or something. That's like two state,
yeah.
like you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's literally like
I
another
mean,
state.
for me to get to Buffalo, New York is like 8 hours of driving. I mean, I don't even leave the state.
Yeah, so that's like me going to like
Just cook.
Washington or something. Or SAC is like five
So
hours, I
it's
think.
fast. It's faster for Singapore to fly to Malaysia than it is for me to fly from where I am to Buffalo.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty small. That's
Yeah.
yeah, okay. That actually makes sense. And I think that probably plays a part and how they're able to just be close together. Everybody's going to have that camaraderie. They can actually have some kind of like team dynamic and team atmosphere um, on the national level. Whereas, like for us, we're just so spread out. Like it's like really hard to like kind of get that, and everybody would have to like travel like significantly um,
To
to
make it
emulate
happen, yeah.
something similar to that. So, what did you guys do those
Like
last
John
three
and I were
days?
talking, like John and I were talking about it, and we're just like, yo, it's kind of weird. Like I know that we're not, but we feel like we're getting ready for a meet because the only time that we ever see each other face to face,
Yeah.
we're getting ready to go to war. Like it's never like, oh yeah, like how's your day? It's like, all right, yo, like you ready for Sheffield? Like you ready for Nats? You ready for Worlds? All right, cool. Like you need a lift off, boom, and it's like wartime. Um, which is
I think
interesting
that's
because
what
like we
helped.
knew each other
Yeah.
for a few years.
Yeah, I think that's what helped when we were working out. We started like getting our sessions in together. Like the first few
Yeah,
sessions, like my brain was like, oh, I'm like warming up for a meet, and like what's Delaney Jack High? Like what what you know what I mean? Like, oh yeah, like what, did you just take your warm up? Can I go?
yeah.
So yeah, so that was fun. That was fun.
That's
It
it.
brings me tremendous joy and happiness knowing that, through Flex, you guys are able to find each other and experience something like that on a in a country like that like bringing people together to have like core memories. I mean, I think that's what it's all about, right? I mean, John, Nina's gonna probably remember this forever,
Oh
right?
yeah, me too. Like
Yeah.
Nina and I, for example, we've been wanting to go to Malaysia for so long, just as like foodies, just for trying the food, and yeah, like we had our fair share of food, and it was great. It was fantastic,
I think
and
for
Just don't
me,
eat the durian. Don't eat the durian.
what's that?
the durian, the
It's not
What is
good.
it's
that?
funny. Even my parents didn't like it because we brought back some like chocolate durian. So durian, Joey, is a fruit that is infamous for smelling very bad and tasting very bad for most people. Yeah. Uh,
Why is
but
it
it's like the net. What's up?
why is it famous if it smells
So
bad?
it's like I want to say it's like the national fruit of Malaysia.
Hmm.
It's like a um. So it's a very funky odor and a very funky taste. I believe Delaney
Like
dis.
it's so funky. It's so funky. There's signs at our hotel that say you can't have
You
durian
can't
in the
bring it in. Yeah,
hotel.
you can't bring it in. And the smell's so bad you have to eat it with gloves if you don't want it
If
to
you
stick
could
to your.
compare it, what is it, like a kiwi? Is it like a papaya? Is it like a
Oh, I
banana?
mean it's like it's a spiky fruit,
Grow
but
up,
that's all. But
grow up.
Well, dragon fruit's
yeah,
spiky, right? Isn't that like one of the best, tastiest fruits?
yeah. But
Interesting.
yeah, it's funny. My parents still didn't like durian. I was surprised. So I don't know why even Nina eats like everything, bro. Nina's really good with food, and she was like, it's okay, you know. But it's funny because I was like I was cool with it. I don't yeah.
Sean
I'm
the
telling
whole time was like, "Yo, you want to watch me eat it again?" It
you.
was like it was something spicy. It was one spicy. He's like, "Yo, you want to watch me eat this the spiciest pepper ever?" Like, I'll do it. I'll do it. I won't
Now,
die.
let me ask you guys, John, did you like the food in Malaysia more, or like compared to Mexico, which one did you like better?
That's not even. They're very different, super different. Uh, completely different flavor profiles. So it's like I can't even. I mean, like with Mexican food, I can eat. I can just like keep.
Yeah.
I can just like eat it all day. But Malay, like a lot of Malaysian food is spicy, so I can't like keep eating it. You know?
It's different spice, right?
Yeah, it's like a I don't know, like a deep like a heat more than like spicy. Does that make sense? Like it'll make
Yeah,
you
I was
sweat.
sweating.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was sweating.
Delaney, Malaysian food versus the food you had in Kuwait.
Oh, yeah, not Kuwait was fire. Kuwait was fire.
Is that
What kind of food they got there?
Mediterranean or?
They just yeah, just like Mediterranean. Like they had like, 'cause they had like the seafood was dope. So the one thing about Kuwait is it's so hot there that, and
Fuck.
especially when I went, like people actually leave Kuwait to like go to other places in the summer, and so literally all they do is eat and like stay inside. Like that's it. Like just eat. So like their food is just good because it's just like that's all we could do. And apparently, I found out that they're like one of the fattest countries in like the Middle East or something like that. Like it's actually like documented, like most obese country. Um, but there's this spot called the Avenues, which is I think like the biggest or maybe the second biggest mall in the Middle East. Um, and I forget the name of this spot, but I went with some of like the people I was down there with, and they had essentially like just this like meat shop. Like so you would just go in, like think of like Roots Chris, but like not, but like almost look like Chipotle. And so you just order like three big slabs of just like whatever meat they had. Man, when I say like I went to go and like pick up one of like the pieces, just like they chopped it up a little, pick up one of the pieces, like I grabbed it by the bone and it just fell off. And I was like,
Have you had fogo de
oh
chao?
man. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Is it like
What is it?
That
that? Fogo de chao, where they bring you like unlimited meat?
no, so it wasn't unlimited. It was
Alright.
like think of like it was literally like think of like you have like a rack of lamb or like this big rack of steak that's been like just broiling for like all day, like just hours, just infinity time, and you're just like, yo, I want this, this, and this, and they have these cutting boards that are like literally this big, like the size of like this picture right here, and it just has meat on it, like just like this big, and it just has a big slab of meat, and you just eat it, and that's it. Like it's not unlimited, it's just big as shit.
I'm
And you
just
just
so
you just
happy
eat
that
it.
you guys are able to experience that. For me, and you guys were talking about it a little bit earlier, how every time you guys see each other, it's to get ready for something, right? It's like to get ready for a meet or to get ready for whatever. And I think we have been to a lot of amazing places for this sport. And I think for me, I just need to like, I'm always like, go, 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 stay busy. But taking a second to just be like, yo, I'm here. Let me take a day to like enjoy it. Um, the only time I ever really did that was when I went to Japan. But usually, like Lithuania was such a nice place. It was like so beautiful and calm, and um, Malta's great. I mean, you guys know Malta. It's like a
Malta was
beach.
fire.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Especially where we were
I
at
stayed
this
back for
time, it
that
was
week.
very like exciting, like where it was at night. Um, there's just so many. I think it's really good if lifters when they travel to just take a day or two or just to kind of see what's around there, experience something different. Um, because I think if you do that enough, the older you get, you kind of you look back at your life and you're like, I did a lot of cool and amazing shit through this sport that maybe when I was younger, people thought I would never be able to do. Maybe you had a teacher that was like, you're never gonna do this, you're never gonna do that, your life is gonna be whatever. And through your passion, you were able to create a way for yourself and make friendships, lifelong friendships, and meet people and just kind of experience life on a level that I think, I mean, you guys can carry these experiences with you now wherever you go. Whatever you do, like you guys have done it. You guys have done it. You guys have ran the gauntlet multiple times. You guys have traveled everywhere. You guys know what it's like to experience these things, and um, I think that's the goal with I would love for all my lifters to try to experience that. Obviously, not everybody can, and I think that's what kind of makes it really special is because it's like it's like a scarce thing. It's like not something like you have to earn it, right? Um, but it never stops, right? I know you guys are like actually very in contrast, somewhat, or the dynamic between you two in terms of like, and maybe we say this to the end, or maybe we just talk about it now since I'm here. Um,
Me, what a
what you guys are both world champions multiple time. You guys have both done Sheffield multiple time. I was really happy, Delaney, that last meet we were able to get you on the podium. John, you've did the podium twice. Um, at like the champion of champions meet, right? That's the way I kind of see it. You literally have to win worlds to be there. Usually. Um, do you guys at this state in the game have like okay, so like there's like the young aspiring lifter that has that fire that like I need to prove myself. I need to overshoot. I need to do it now. I need to like, I need to just show everyone how great I am. And then you have, maybe like a Cayco where you've done it, right? You've won many times. You've experienced all these things and you understand that like everything that you did was like a privilege and there's still more to do, but it's different, right? Whereas like Delaney, and I could be wrong, I feel like, bro, right after that Raleigh meet, you were like, fuck this, let's get back in the gym. You know what I mean? Like you were fired up. You and John were just very kind of different in that regard. And I guess I'll go Delaney first, then John. Delaney, what is your motivation level right now? Do you feel that you still have that fire? And is it the same as like kind of like when you started in the early days, or has it kind of evolved into something more? And then I'll go to John.
yeah. I definitely still have that fire. Um, and But I think it might come from like slightly different places now, right? Like there's definitely that fire. So like when you first start, it's like, yo, I want to get there, right? I got to get there. I want to get to the top. I want to catch up with these dudes, like do something. And then once you make it to the top, you like that whole saying of like you don't know what you have until you've lost it, right? And also it's like, hey, like it's one of those type of things. And so like once you have something and you lose it, you know how good it feels. You know that this is actually what you want. You know what's at stake and what it's worth. And so losing it, or not being a part of it, like hurts even that much more than like never getting there to begin with, right? Um, and so I think like in the beginning, the fire was just like, hey, yo, like I'm coming up, and like I think I got it what it takes to make it there, and I'm just like everybody, I'm just gonna work harder to be able to get there. And then once you make it to the top, and at least for me specifically, especially since the first Sheffield, like I've been nursing like an adductor injury, right? And so like it's weird because I feel like I've been like fighting on one leg for literally like a year and a half, 2 years, and like everything's just like, all right, like fight enough, like just get the W, just get the W, like scared of the teeth, whatever. But there's this like little gnawing thing in the back of you that's just like I know that there's like so much more that is like you feel like a caged animal that's just like there's more in there, but you can't recruit it because of this like chain that's like holding you back. Um, and so I think for me,
The gauntlet.
it's it's
You're
it's
just
yeah,
stuck in the
it's the
fucking
it's
yeah.
like you're stuck in this purgatory where you can never get yourself healthy enough, and you're like, okay, I gotta get back to Worlds, I gotta get back to Sheffield. And it's just like,
Let me pause
okay,
you right
well, if
quick,
it
real
rips off
there.
the
Let me,
bone,
just so people just have a frame of reference. Like, you guys have to go all out every single time because there is so much on the line. Like, literally, like at Worlds, you're fighting for a world title and you're fighting to get a Sheffield spot against other people that want the same thing as you. And then at Sheffield, you're literally playing for money, right? It's not the
yeah,
same
yeah,
as like, oh well, like let me just kind of go easy at like Euros and then I'll go like harder at nationals and then like I'll go really hard for Worlds, right? Like I just had Alba do 3 meets in like 5 months or 6 months or something, but we had like different gears and we didn't cut for some of them. You guys are cutting every single time, right? It's like it's she's also way younger than you guys, so it's like it's just different, right? If you guys are 22, you could probably do it, right? Um,
yeah,
but you guys are pushing that limit every single time, and like we did it. We found it. We found a way. We found a way to get it done.
yeah,
But
you get it done. But I
but
think also to
yeah.
piggyback on that, it's also like at that level, there's nowhere to hide either. And so it's not just the physical piece of it, is there's like there's an actual cost to losing. Like even outside of
Yeah.
just like the meet itself, like okay, you don't win some money, okay, you don't become a word. Like there's podcasts and there's random people that don't even know you that hate you because of whatever, and then like there's this and there's that. And so there's actual like cost to like there's an actual like intangible cost to losing as well. That's a different kind of fire.
Oh, that shit's
Um,
tangible.
and so
That shit's fucking tangible.
yeah,
That
yeah, I
shit's
mean, yeah,
fucking
sometimes you like
tangible.
you really can't like yeah.
Yeah.
I guess it depends, right? And so I think like to answer your question in terms of the fire, I think for me like that's what still keeps me going, and I think like especially like I mean John can attest to that because the 93s are just as crazy, but with the 83s, there's just so much popularity around that weight class because just most men sit around that weight that there's all like no matter what you do, there's always something else to be talked about. There's like you never get to the top of the hill and it's done and you just rest. It's always like, well, this or that or that and that. And so like it's the fire for me is no longer like, hey, like win a world title or go to Sheffield or this and the third. Although like I would love to be the first person like at 83 to get 3 world titles, like that is a goal. But like now it's like you're playing for like legacy. Like you're playing to like when you leave, like what have you accomplished and what have you done? And like now it's like yo like how far can I actually like push my body and allow it to go now that I'm no longer injured, like now like you're like the kid like the leash is finally off, like let's go. And that like that's what fires me up because I'm just like there's so much left that like just isn't being able to be shown, and like unfortunately and fortunately you're only judged by like what you do on those those 9 attempts, and the circumstances around it nobody cares about, like you just got to win, right? So yeah, that definitely a fire just comes from a different place,
Also
um
the
and there's just more at stake.
pressure of it's almost like you're building this Jenga tower and you're taking a piece and putting it on top and you're literally like the more you do it, like you're like sacrificing your health points and it becomes like more wavy, you know what I mean? The taller you get and it becomes this like super tall thing and that pressure eventually has to go somewhere. Um and I think it breaks a lot of lifters. It's like a very tough thing, but you guys have done it. John, where are we at with the fire and your sort of mindset towards it?
So that's a very interesting question for me to answer as well, because hmm, I mean Delaney already knows, right?
Yeah.
Oh
Oh, I know
man,
Yeah,
too.
nice
I
yeah,
know
convo
too.
about it.
yeah, Joey knows, yeah, and then
Yeah.
like um. No, it's interesting because it's fun. It's almost nice hearing that from Delaney as well because like I've been in the same boat. I've been hurt. Uh, I've been hurt as well for a long time, and the same thing. You feel like you just couldn't express the strength you know that you can. right? And no, not everyone, no one ever comes in like 100%, really. It's very
Yeah.
rare, or it's weird. It's almost like weird if you did, right? But at the same time, if you have to do multiple meets and you just never like like maybe you come in 90%, that's fantastic. But when you're coming in at like feeling like 60%, or you just like for example, like the my most recent meet, Sheffield, this year, like I remember warming up, doing my last session on squats, and I was coming off this like hip flexor quad injury, which I just got over. It took me like 7 months at least to get over it. Um, and like my knee and hip were just popping the whole time. Well, as I was like even warming up with like 3 reds, and so yeah, I've had my share of injuries, and it's
And
just been like,
it's not like you don't take care of yourself, by the way. Like you guys,
no,
I think
no,
John is probably like one of the most proactive in terms of fixing all those little things, right? Like doing the extra shit outside of the gym to fix that. But when you've been doing this for so long, you're outputting so hard and like
yeah,
you're
that you can only maintain against it for so long. You're just kind of like maintaining the wall versus just being able to build it, right?
yeah.
Or you're just trying to maintain it from falling over than actually like building a good wall in a sense, right? And I've been, like for me, like it started for my injury was started back in like late 2020. Um, and I've been trying. I was like nursing that the whole time until recently. So I was very happy to have this time off. Um, like physically, mentally, and emotionally, everything, right? Um, but my motivation, I think, I don't, I don't want to go on. I don't want to go too deep about.
You can go as deep as you need to go, brother.
Nah, Delaney knows. Like, yeah, I can get very introspective. I try to be, right. But I try to do it in a healthy way, right? In a sense of like, what do you want? Like, what do you want, and why? Like I think most decisions we make are in like, I bring this up all the time. But I think most decisions we make in life are in essence are like of a pursuit of happiness behind it, right? You don't punch someone in the face because that's fucked up, and you're just like, well, I won't feel good about that, or like I don't say something to someone because like, well, like that's pretty fucked up. I won't, like there's an inner peace in a sense that comes with that, right? But when it comes to motivation, and so nowadays especially, I've learned, and I can articulate it better now as I've gotten older. And back to your thing is saying like, when we first start, when I'm 20 years old, 22 years old, when I first started ish, you just have this fire, and it's funny. I could tell you about this right now. I just posted that picture with a before and after of my
When you're skinny.
it's funny. Yeah, well, like, so I trained I was lifting in my teenage years up to my to my late teens. I was like 190 pounds, 180, 190. Excuse me. Right. And then I started doing gaming, and within 2 years I dropped like 30 pounds, and that's where that picture comes from, right? And when I left gaming, I've been asked. I got asked this question a long time ago, but I could never fully understand. I never fully understood what I meant when I said it. When I left gaming to go back into getting healthy, I did it because I chose my own happiness. Even though I was getting paid, especially you're a kid, any like even like $100 is like fucking $1 million when you're a kid, right? Um, I prioritize my own happiness, right? And so what did I mean when I said that, right? What do I mean when I say that? When I started getting healthier physically again, which leads to emotional health, right? Of course, mental health, everything, right? Just getting physically healthy is extremely important. Um, Things evolve over time, and as they should, because if you have the same mindset as you did when you were 20 and when you were 30, you didn't really do much growing. Sure, it's like the same path, but hopefully it's evolved to something a little more, into something. So when you ask about like, yeah, like if you're young, just enjoy it. Fucking like go out there, lift, and just try to grow from the sport. Try to grow as a person, which will in turn make you a better lifter. But nowadays, for me, when it comes to that motivation question, um, I've learned uh, the reason I compete is not to win. The reason I compete, I've learned, and this is me. This is strictly speaking for myself, right? The reason I compete, and rather the reason I do any competing, and the reason I think the reason I found I enjoy powerlifting, especially as I've gone like some type of like platform, I suppose, is that I can like share something, right? You know, you have that like you can share something. You know, I say it all the time. I say it all the time. You can't share something you don't have, right? So if all you have is misery within yourself, that's what you're going to share with people, right? We know that's terrible. And for me, you know, like what I want to share, what I want to do with powerlift. That's why I do these. Like that's why I've been enjoying these events so much, is that I can share some type of happiness with people. And that's why I want to get, you know, I want to go and do these big meets, and in turn I have to get strong to do them. I think competing is fun. Competing is fun for me. Like I love the competitiveness. That's just kind of just it's just like a, you know, it's just like something I find fun, something I enjoy doing, right? The process of it might not be fun more times than not, but like, you know, going out there and competing and, you know, being I was talking about this today, just being very present in your lift. You have 9 attempts, and I have all that matters in that moment is that lift. You know, and I think that's very beautiful. It really is. Like, like same thing. You do a play. All you're focused on is that play right now. You know, like yeah, you can go back and evaluate. You know, you fucked up here and there, but it's how it is. And so what I've learned, what my motivation has evolved to, and my goals, I suppose, is that I want to share or help people plant seeds of what happiness is for them, right? Because for me, I truly believe I found that for myself in some shape or form, right? And it's an ongoing practice, you know. Um, and I'd like to that so that's where my goals have evolved to. I just want to share that with people, you know, because I believe at the end of the day, when we're truly joyful and we're truly enjoying ourselves, that's when we can be the strongest, anyway. Because on the contrary, we know when someone's stressed out, they get sick. People get stressed out. They sit at home, they get sick. You know, people develop cancers. People, they get uh, all these illnesses. So what about the other side? What if you're happy? What if you can find happiness and find joy? Like things are gonna happen in life, but what if you can find that joy? What's that lead to? You know, does it not lead to being the best version of yourself? You know, and if you have a lot, why not share that with people? So that's kind of where I come from, and that in the sense of that question, and where it's kind of evolved to for me. Um, but yeah, that's a that's as surface level as I could keep it.
I mean, that was pretty deep. I like your guys' answers.
Yeah,
Um, that's something that I mean, shit. I think for me, sharing. They say happiness is only true when shared. I don't know how you guys feel about that, but I mean, of course, if you're in a dark room and you hit a PR and nobody saw it, that's cool, right? You have that, like, yeah, I hit that. But if you could do it on a stage with like 3,000 people watching you and like hundreds of thousands watching you online, eventually millions, um, I mean, it just kind of shows that people care about what you're doing, right? People care, and you are inspiring more people than you'll know. I'll never forget, John, that first Sheffield. I couldn't be in the back yet, but like I was waiting for you guys to. I actually didn't know that you guys went to that little back section to do the picture signing thingy. And I was like on the stage taking pictures with Chris and Grant, and there were like these group of kids from China that came out, and they're like, Joey, da da da, and then they were like, please, please, please make Cayco come out. And they waited for you to leave the back and like come out to meet them. Um, that's what it's about, man. That's what it's about.
yeah,
I'm sure that they saw something in you that maybe gave them hope, made them. Oh, by the way, when I was in Junior Worlds, I met these guys from Hong Kong, and they are also fans of you. I don't think it was the same people. I don't think it was because they were like super young, like like sub juniors, but they're watching, man, and I think that's why it's important to like be a good role model in some way. I feel like all of us, all three of us, in our own way, we express ourselves like for what we are, right? I'm posting whatever I feel like posting. I'll post anime, I'll post Warhammer, I'll post fuck anything, right? Delaney, he's got personality. This man goes crazy on the platform. This man is happy and joyous and likes to dance on the platform, right? John has his little swag when he goes out. He likes what he likes too. He posts music he likes, right? And I think that's at the very least showing people be yourself, express yourself. It's healthy to do these things. By doing that, you're gonna draw other people that have similar values and just like-minded people like to each other, and then you can create like friendships, like the friendships that I've garnered like through Flex, like you guys are my life, right? You guys are my best friends. Like you guys are, you know what I mean? I reminds me of my football coach, um, who we were like, Coach, why don't you have a family? He's like, you guys are my family. Like, and some of us were with that same football coach for 4 years, right? Um, and I mean, it's just being able to experience these things, like Delaney says, going to war, going to battle, whatever. Like to be able to do powerlifting, like with people that you care about. Um, bro, I remember 2019 after Russ beat Gibbs, we're at some random little cafe. There was nobody there. It was just me and him eating like burgers like super late at night, and he had a flight in a couple hours. Like I remember like random little things like that, right? John, I remember when we went to like the first night I got the chef and we had steak at that random ass place. You know what I mean? Like, oh my god, I remember your meet after COVID. Delaney, I remember
Mm.
you in 2019 Nationals. I don't think you were in prime time. Were you in prime time? 2019?
2019, my first nationals. Yeah, my
Were you?
first nationals. Yeah. No, I wasn't.
You
I
weren't
was
there, no,
hurt,
because Russ was
but I did
alone.
make prime time.
Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
remember,
I
but I
was
remember,
helping handle Russ.
I remember you though. That's right.
Yeah,
See, like that's 5 years ago.
because I wasn't in prime time, and then I like tied with the top five person,
John,
and they were all like, "Oh shit!" And then I was fucking helping handle Russ.
that's
And
just
that's
me
where I
trying
met
to
John. Like
that's
that.
just me trying to get the team like involved, Like what do injured players do in football? You still come to practice and you're still there at the game, right? Like that's what we do. But John, I remember when Apex dropped and we had to deal with Chinese hackers.
Yeah.
Like we've been through the turmoil with Nina too, the pain that we went through, right? I remember these things, and these are memories that I'm not gonna lie, I stress a lot. I stress a lot, but when I'm outside, like walking the dog, and it's just like I'm just like looking at the trees, to be able to like pause and think about, bro, my boys are in Malaysia right now, right? Russ is in the UK. You know, this is going on over here. I got da 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 da, right? It gives me this sense of purpose, making a difference. I don't even know. And it has tremendous value to your life, and I hope that you guys feel like what you're doing matters and that it's special. I like to think that you do, right? Because if not, when we travel and do stuff, there's gonna be kids that tell you, "Hey man, I remember when you did this thing, and you don't even remember doing it on the platform, or this moment," and you're like, "Oh dang, I did do that," and that made them so happy. But anyway, I don't want to take up too much of your guys' time, Delaney. I know it's super late for you, and I think that not only did people on my channel get to know you guys a little bit better, but maybe it's super motivating for them to want to try to get to that level and experience those things. You guys actually, man, like now that I know you guys are such a good pair, doing little seminars like that, like we could do something over here. You know what I mean? That bro, we got
No,
the
No, go ahead. My bad. No,
No, go ahead, Joe.
good,
What were
good.
you gonna say?
No,
You said
I'm saying it's funny because it's literally rush hour, bro. It's literally
like
like
honestly, I don't
It's
think you
literally
guys got to hang out like one on one like that like too much, right?
no, that's what we were saying. Like
Yeah.
it's always different when we go to the meets. Like we're focused on something else.
Yeah.
We have
A little
we
bit
both have
stressful.
an event. Yeah, we both have an event coming up, and we're our part. We're looking after ourselves, and it's the same concept as like, hey, we'll hang out, versus like living together. Kind of the same,
Yeah, yeah.
kind of same concept.
yeah.
You can get along all you want, when you're hanging out as friends, but as soon as you start living together, whatever, things get a little different. Mhm. So it was really like I was telling Delaney, we had a lot of good conversations, one on one, and the group between me, Nina, him, and Attica, which was a fun dynamic between us four, honestly. Attica's a
Yeah.
ball of energy. She's so sweet, so genuine. She showed us around. She gave it her all, bro. She got her car got rear-ended by this bike. Um, like all this shit, like all this stuff was
Yeah,
happening there.
something else happened, and she was just happy the whole time. Like
Yeah,
she's just a genuinely just like you can't say a bad thing about her.
yeah.
Like you
Like
just can't, even if you tried.
like her hosting us there was just so like, even if something bad happened, even if we were late to something, or like if it didn't go to schedule, she was like, okay, like like we'll make it work, and she was just like very very happy. It was very, and even that was very contagious almost, right? uh so it was just a really good trip, and we had, like I said, we had a lot of good a lot of good conversations. And I was telling Delaney how it was really cool to get to like actually get to know each other as people, versus like, hey, like
Yeah.
we're in game mode, like I know we both are competing tomorrow, good luck, bro, how you feeling, versus like, hey bro, like how are you, like how it's different, it really is. And um so yeah, it was really, it was very good, very good.
Is there anything that you guys want to say about the trip before we cut it? Aside from what you've already said.
Um, maybe not about the trip, but I will say this just so we get it out the way. Any other country, any other country, you want to make this happen. Rush hour 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 15, 27, 35. Let's make it happen. Hit one of our DMs, hit Attica's DM. Like we're down. Like let's run the world tour. The
Just
Rush Hour
keep in
Flex World
mind
Tour.
that Nationals is in April, and I'm gonna need them to be locked in. So, cause I'm, cause
Yeah, so what's
I'm
good? So this here's the timeline. Here's the timeline. We're gonna get ready for nationals. We're gonna smash it. We're gonna go to worlds. We're gonna smash it. And then there's just gonna be this period of time where we just gotta run. We just gotta run the world, right? We're going to like 5, 6 different places at once. Like let's do it. Let's do it. 2025 is gonna be big. Reach out.
it's gonna
Let's make it
be
happen.
giga big. Alrighty, guys, thank you so much. If you made it this far, let me know in the comments down below. I will leave both of their Instagrams in the description. Thank you guys so much for listening in. John and Delaney, thank you guys so much for being here. And see you guys in the next one. Peace.